news. Let's get it out before anybody comes on here. Do you know what it is?
Uh, no, I
Lord
can't
of
think
mercy.
of
I
something.
mean, everybody gonna be on here before you even think of something. Lord of
I'm
mercy.
just trying to think of something.
I mean, I caught you way off guard that time.
Franklin County will still be a racetrack next year.
Well, yeah, I would say.
That's the breaking news. Damn, old Blake Melvin, he's been killing it lately.
Yeah, he does a good job. All right, let me make sure we're live here. I can see people coming on, so I am sure we are. I just want to make sure here.
We live, baby. We live.
Yep, we're good. All right. Let's get into this. All right, it's episode 79 of the Pit Chatter podcast. Well, I mean technically, hold on. Is this 79 or 80? I mean, does Saturday count?
I don't think it counts. That was
Yeah.
a special event.
That was 5 hours.
It was a long time.
5 hours and 42 pee breaks.
There's a lot of pee breaks.
That was a long time, man. I mean, that was a long time to be on the air. Anyways, episode 79 tonight of the Pit Chatter podcast, presented by Yoder's Custom Meat Processing. And, well, Noah, you know what they say.
You can't beat that meat.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, man, you still sound terrible. I mean, not just the burp, but you still sound terrible otherwise.
I'm trying my best.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing a good job. Doing a real good job. All right. So let's start by we already know what we did this weekend. You played sick all weekend and you're still sick. And then we spent 5 hours on online here live, just talking about the race at Martinsville, talking about what we could see on screen there. um, what's your biggest impression that you took away from the Martinsville race this past weekend?
Too much rain. That's first
Yeah.
off.
Yeah,
I mean, that really extended our broadcast there.
it did. I felt like for sure we were going to be about 3.5 hours and out, and we got about. I'm thinking we got about 3 Pepsis deeper than we needed to be.
14, to be precise.
Oh, I'm sure there was 14, but listen, we got 3 too far. Okay?
Oh yeah, it took a turn. Well, that's the problem. It wasn't supposed to go that far.
No, it wasn't.
We should have been off the air for like 2 hours at that point.
Yeah, no, I agree. Got a bunch of people jumping into the chat over here. Got Blake Melvin, John Coe, Emily Coe. I wonder if they're watching from the same device. I don't know. Chris Cannon. Got Cotton Rigney in here. Wilton Maxey, and I think that's it so far in the comments there. But good weekend. Cotton Rigney being in here. Good weekend for Corey Pack. That's his son there that ran in the Martinsville race this weekend. And I'll be honest with you, I did some shirts and hats for him last week, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, I like these guys, but I mean they just ain't got no chance going in this race. It's like everybody else, that's small time team. You're like, man, why do they go? Well, that's why they go. What he did. I mean, he qualified good, stayed P1 for the longest time. Looked really good. Looked really good out there in the heat race. Made it into the feature, and might have got him a top 10 or 15 finish there. Had it not been for whatever happened to him there at the end. I can't even remember exactly what it was, but kudos to those guys for putting in a stellar effort into a tough race.
Yeah, the heat races were surprisingly tame this time.
Well, they were, and they made up
places.
for it in the feature.
Oh yeah, if it wasn't for the rain, that would have been a fantastic race all the way around.
Yeah, it would have been.
Other than the start, kind of pissed me off a little bit.
Yeah,
Got
well,
4 cars took out, including Mike
yeah,
Lewis.
yeah. Cotton Rigney jumping in here. He said the spindle broke. That's what it was that took them out of the race this weekend. And I'm gonna tell you what shows how hard it is to make this race. Um, you know, Peyton Sellers, a perennial contender. In every race that he runs, gets caught doing some little funny things to his car on Friday. Has to start in the rear, and he just never made it into the top 10 to have a chance to advance into the feature. Kyle Dudley, who qualified on the pole last year. I mean, listen. I'm pretty sure he would have rather been anywhere but Martinsville at the way his weekend went.
I mean, no offense to the guy, but that was straight booty cheeks all the way around the whole weekend. That was awful.
It was.
I
It was
don't know if
terrible.
he was having problems with his car or if just
Yeah,
because he ain't been running or late model stocks as much that he didn't,
yeah,
he wasn't prepared. I don't know, but that was bad.
yeah. I mean, I think I don't know that this has anything to do with it, but it might. I mean, he last year he spent a lot more time at South Boston, kind of raced and honed his skills against those Peyton Sellers and Trevor Wards and those types of people that you know run good in every race that they run in. And I think that he spent a little more time cherry picking over at the old raceway on Speedway Lane, and I don't know that paid off at Martinsville
But
anyway.
I'm not convinced that's why.
I'm not saying that's why,
Because, I
but
mean, you had guys like Mike Looney who I don't know how much everybody keeps saying he barely raced or hasn't
he only
raced at
raced a
all
couple
this year.
times.
But, I mean, other than the start, he probably would have, I would say
Yeah,
definitely he would have had a top 10 finish
yeah,
at least. And he was doing good. So, I don't know.
yeah. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. Landon Pembleton picked up the victory. Kudos to him. That was his second grandfather clock there. He won several years back. So it was pretty cool pretty cool for him to get another victory there, and in what great fashion to beat one of the greatest of all time, Lee Pulliam, who kind of defies those odds of what we were talking about with Kyle Dudley missing, not racing at South Boston. I mean, Lee Pulliam didn't run a race all year, so he
Yeah.
showed up there. And he was this close to to winning the race. So I mean, I guess there's two sides to that coin for sure. Jared Fryer picked up a third place finish. Andrew Grady, man, that's a guy who has had some terrible luck. He's been on the wrong end of things at Martinsville before. I mean, he's most known for throwing punches down there at a guy's into a guy's window. A couple of years back, and now he can be most known for his fourth place run. That was a good run for him, and Parker Eatman ended up fifth. That's another good run.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I didn't know much about him until y'all were talking about him, but I wish I had known some of these things beforehand. I could have appreciated it a little bit more.
You mentioned the start of the race and Carson Lofton, man, that guy seemed to be. It seemed to be he was the front row was the wrong place for him to be. Great race car driver, but just I don't know, man.
No, I think the front row was right for him. It was wrong for the entire rest of the field.
Well, okay.
It was
I mean, that
fine
was
for
fair.
him. It worked out great.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm with you. I am with you there for sure. Um, you know, grab this comment while it's relevant. Wilton Maxey says, "What is Martinsville going to do when late model stock officially dies off?" Well, with 69 entries, I believe is what the official ended up being there this weekend. I mean, yes, late model stock car racing is in a precarious place, but I don't know that it's going to actually die off anytime soon. And Cotton Rigney chiming in about the 26 car Peyton Sellers said he was cheating, got caught. That's a no. Got to be legal. Yep, for sure. They probably were playing into a gray area and went a little too far. That's just how it is. So Another guy who missed the show was Jimmy Mullins. Local guy. Hate to see him have another bad run in that college car. I felt like when he got into that thing that he was going to have some good runs in that thing, and they've just never really produced.
Yeah. Yeah, he's had some bad luck the last few years at Martinsville.
Yeah, for sure. The aforementioned Carson Lofton about his restarts and starts, and that was problematic all night long. He ended up kind of sliding out, and ended up 10th place after running in the top 2 or 3 the entire race. So I'm sure that's not what he was hoping for there. You talked about Mike Looney and his problems on the start. That was kind of due to. I'm not going to blame all of that on Carson. They had a lady from probably some sponsor that was up there throwing the green flag, and Lord of mercy, I don't know what she was doing, but somebody should have talked to her before she got going, or I don't know.
That
I
might
don't
be
know
the
what was
last
going on.
time a sponsor ever throws the damn green flag after we get into the race.
Yeah,
Either that or they're going to have to go through like a training night.
yeah, they need a training course for sure. That was really bad. But of course, Mike got a lot of damage in that. I mean, we were talking about it on the live. We were like, yeah, he's done. That was it. And then 75 laps later, I look and he's on the lead lap. They never gave up. I mean, they really persevered through all of that.
Yeah, that car did not look good. So I'm amazed that they got him back out there. I mean, he could have
Yeah,
packed it up, loaded her up, and went home, and nobody would have blamed him for it.
for sure, for sure. He ended up with a 17th place finish, so that's all good, I guess. Chris Shepard asking here in the comments, he said, "Wait, what happened? What did she do?" Well, she was there, and I guess she just, I don't know, brain fog or what. She just didn't throw the green flag, and I don't know if the racers were, looking for that. You would think that they were on some sort of communication. Their spotters, were being told that they were going green at the point in which, but I don't know. I guess, at the start of the race, I guess they would be paying mostly attention to that. So I don't know. That's tough. Chris Cannon jumping in says, I think Trevor Ward had the car to beat. There is no doubt that Trevor Ward had the best car there. He is, another one who got caught up by Carson Lofton, not knowing what in the world he was doing. I heard in an interview, or not, maybe it wasn't an interview, maybe he told somebody else that he knew that he was going to put himself in a bad position there by being in the lead. So he was trying to let Trevor go there and get in front of him, but I guess he didn't do a very good job. He waited too long to get on the gas after Trevor went, and of course Trevor got black flagged and basically ended up, his night there. I think he came back out, ran some really fast laps, but at that point it didn't do him any good.
Horrific call, I think.
Watching the video, watching it live, I was like, man, that's a terrible call. Once I started watching the replay, I was like, well, I understand why they made that call. I still think it was probably not the right call to be made, but at the end of the day, what do you do?
But when you got a guy on the front like Lofton who honestly caused the pile up before the race even technically started, I mean,
he helped it for sure.
he's been up there playing games all night, and you don't even give a warning.
Yeah,
You just go straight to nope, black flag, you're done, your night's over.
Yeah.
That seems extremely drastic to me, and yeah, I don't like that at all.
I agree with you. Um, Got to mention Ty Majeski. He ended up 6th in the race. Could have ended up a little bit better than that. Had a bad restart there at the end. Dude didn't look like he had a very good car at all. Didn't look good in the heat races. Started 39th, ended up finishing 6th. That's a hell of a run. Of course, that's a Truck Series guy. Got a lot of experience, and he races these cars some. So, it was good to see him have a quality run after the way they performed in the heat race for sure.
Yeah, I don't think anybody even came through half as many cars as he did on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, Connor Hall ended up winning the Triple Crown, but I'm pretty sure he was not very happy. He did not look like he was the happiest of fellows
He did
there.
not give a damn.
Yeah, but because he was never really a factor in the race, I think he ended up in 11th place. That is certainly not the way that he wanted to win it for sure. I mean, but it's $20,000, so I'm sure they're still going to cash that check,
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
no doubt. Let's see what else happened. Oh man, about forgot the biggest moment of the race there. Sam Yarborough and Tristan McKee battling. Tristan McKee just forgets where he's at, turns down, right hooks Yarborough into the wall, and Yarborough was none too happy. Had a little skirmish in the pits with Robert Elliott, I believe it was, which is his car owner. And Sam asking on one of the videos, he was asking, he's like, "How old is he? How old is he?" And when they told him 14, he's like, "4 more years. I got to wait 4 more years." So,
Yeah, I don't know. I think I saw somewhere that he said that he couldn't see in front of him or something like that, and he was blaming it on the spotter. I don't know.
yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how you blame your spotter. And I understand what he. So, in my opinion, what he was trying to say was that and this is what I believe happened. I believe he was getting past. There's another car coming behind him, and I believe his spotter says, "Get down quick." Well, I think he forgot that he was still beside the car when he said that, so he got down a little too quick, and he just made himself look like a jackass.
I don't know. It's still hard to convince me that wasn't intentional on that one.
I don't believe it was. They Nothing led up to that. Sam Yarborough mentioned that, and nothing led up to it. So, but now Sam Yarborough did say in an interview on FrontStretch.com, he said that, and Blake Melvin's talking about it here in the comments. He said that he said his dad should take off his belt and whip his ass. And I mean, you know what? I'm all for that. Okay, that is exactly what needs to happen. I mean, the whole sport would be better off for that.
Yeah, he doesn't have very many people happy with him. So
No, no,
even before that,
no, not at all. Not at all. Had to survive a couple rain delays, of course, to get to the finish there. Um, Trying to see if there's anything else in my notes here about anybody or anything that kind of stood out from that race. I mean, there was a lot. There was a lot going on, in the race. A lot of stuff going on in the heat races. Not they were tame. Of course, Ronnie Bassett Jr. got into the back of Stacy Puryear and turned him around. And Mike Diaz was on the show with us, and he kind of mentioned that. Ronnie had said in an interview before the race, and I didn't see this interview, so I'm just repeating what he said. But he said in interview before the race, I'm gonna race people how I would want them to race me. Well, apparently he wanted to be spun out. That's all I can figure.
I guess so.
Yeah, for sure. So, um, a lot of locals. I mentioned Kyle Dudley and Jimmy Mullins and Peyton Sellers, and missing the race. Brian Reedy missed the show. So a lot of local guys not getting in. Of course, Corey Pack. We mentioned that he's in the show. Cody Kelly, Florence driver, putting it on the pole. That was pretty impressive. I'm sure you didn't even know who he was, did you?
No idea.
Yeah.
If they haven't been there in the last 4 years, I have no idea.
I believe that. I mean, at least you're honest about it. At least you're honest about it. Anything else from that race that sticks out in your mind?
I mean, I'm sure we're missing like 2 or 3 wrecks in there, but
Well, we didn't mention, Mike Diaz was on with us. We didn't mention, Mason Diaz, his son, and Blaine Harrison getting into it. That was really the only major wreck of the heat races. And, of course, Mike didn't have very kind things to say there. So
no, he didn't. But hey, I'd be pissed too.
for sure, for sure. Ruben Altus chiming in. He's talking about Kyle Dudley. He said Kyle had a bad weekend, but it's cool. They're doing a replica diecast of his late model. Saw it in a video he posted. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I don't know if you saw that or not, but they're going to be in like Walmart stores along with like Dale Jr.'s late model. I believe it's the Sundrop car, or I don't know, maybe it's the Bass Pro Shop car. But anyways, it's going to be with that and like other NASCAR, Cup Series cars. So that's pretty cool.
I feel bad for Kyle, man. He's gotten everything but a shot in the higher division.
Everything but into the Martinsville race this weekend. I mean,
Yeah, that is true.
Blake Melvin checking in the comments. He says exactly what you would have said about this weekend if you were promoting, the Martinsville Valley Star Credit Union 300.
It was just a regular Martinsville race, nothing special.
Oh my God. And then Misty Meadows has got to bring it up. I was going to leave it alone, but here she is. She said you didn't talk about the deep throat of a hot dog while on the delay.
Yeah, and he definitely did not like that hot dog. I knew the whole thing with I've eaten 14 hot dogs this week. I knew that was a load of horse crap. Because it was very obvious once they put the camera on him. He took one big bite. He was not enjoying that hot dog whatsoever.
Listen, I hate their hot dogs, but that one that he took a bite of, that was the nastiest looking one I'd ever seen.
They showed it on camera. I couldn't tell if that was chili or relish on it, and that is never a good sign.
I have no idea what that was.
It looked
was
awful.
Garbage. Absolute garbage.
It looked bad.
Oh, Doodle Lang chiming in. He's talking about Kyle Dudley. He said it's cool. He should make millions. Yeah, I don't think he's going to get a whole lot from that, but it is cool that his car will be out there. I mean, hell, if I see one at Walmart, I'm gonna buy it. So
still, that's cool.
Buy a junior one. I'm gonna play with mine. On my pillow. I need the rest of the late models though. I need the rest of these guys to get cars so I can play with all of them. You know what I mean?
I send one to Patrick Barnes.
Oh Lord.
He needs
him and Alex Brown, right?
Yeah, they need one.
Yeah, they definitely need one. For sure.
I mean, still, even if his whatever you want to call it, royalty check is like $4, which is honestly probably what it'll be.
Yeah.
How many people can say that they're getting paid to have their, a little?
How many can say that they've had their car put in packs with other not other late model drivers, but other Cup Series drivers
at Walmart? That's how you know when you made it. When they're selling your car at Walmart,
that's pretty badass. It's pretty badass. Doodle Lang says he'll buy one too. So we're getting at least 3 bought that I know of. So. Blake Melvin says those hot dogs will play games with your tummy. Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you what, that one that ain't no wonder Connor Jones wrecked after that, because it was that hot dog that did him in. It wasn't the 3 wide battle that ensued.
He probably wrecked on purpose because he had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, and he had a white suit on, so he certainly couldn't hold it.
Yeah, no, that wasn't gonna happen.
Couldn't take any chances there for sure. Wilton Maxey. Chiming in, he said, why was Limited Sportsman a one and done race at Martinsville? So they had a Limited Sportsman race. I don't know, God, a long time ago, 2009-ish, 10-ish, somewhere in that neighborhood. I'm thinking, epic show. I mean, it had everything. It was clean and green for a little while, and then it come unraveled, and it never stopped unraveling. It was an absolute demolition derby in the end, and that's why. They look at it as if it was a black eye to them, so that's why Martinsville doesn't have them back. I've always said, and I know Doodle Lang will agree with me on this, I've always said that a mini stock race at Martinsville would be one of the most epic shows you could ever get, and to take that a step further, I mean, think about front wheel drives, stock 4, something of that nature. There, I would probably be the biggest cluster you've ever seen in your life, but it would make for an epic show.
If it was me, if I was, Emperor of Martinsville, I would push all the Friday late model stuff back to Thursday. And on Friday, I would do like a local show, like mini stocks, some kind of front wheel drives, maybe street stocks. You could get the street stocks show from Martinsville.
Yeah.
I mean, I would do like a local show. I think that'd be awesome.
Sure. For sure. Doodle chiming in before I even got that comment. So with the delay, he was chiming that in, said that I wish they'd do mini stocks at Martinsville, and well, I'm with you too. Kim Harris says, was Connor the one who ate 25 Martinsville hot dogs over 2 days? Well, according to Noah, no, but according to Flo, yes.
Ain't no way. Considering how much he hated that hot dog when he started eating it, there ain't no way he ate 25 of them.
Yep. Yep. I I kind of agree with you. Doodle Lang, chiming in said that Clay, and he's talking about Clay Campbell did start in a mini stock, so I think it would be cool. I think I asked him that one time, and I don't think he had any thoughts about that. So, Matthew Cheatham chiming in, he said, "How about the run by Lee Pulliam? I wish someone would give him a chance." Man, I tell you, and I think I've had a couple people ask me, well, why don't Lee just race? He can surely afford to race. He's been renting out all these cars and he's making all this money and blah 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 blah. I don't think it's that simple. I think that he still needs to make money, but he still really wants to race. So I just don't think it's as simple as him just going and racing and not having an income for his family. He's got a wife and a kid, and it was that was a surreal moment. The video that Matt Weaver, Short Track Scene, had posted, a surreal moment, of his daughter coming up to him afterwards, and just made me emotional. You know what I mean? Just because that's one of those guys. That's one of those late model guys who's been one of the greats, and he's not been in a car in a while, on a regular basis, and just really cool to see him have such a great run. I thought for sure, when he took the lead there, that he was going to win it. And I guess there's some irony in the fact that it was a guy who drove for him in his rental program just a few years ago who brought out the last caution. And that was Brandon Pierce, who had been having a great day, one of his best Martinsville performances, to date, and just brought out the caution there at the end. And there's some irony in the fact that Lee has got out of it to do that, and then one of those guys, it is what it is. Let's see.
Yeah, rough way to go.
Misty Meadows, she said she thinks the mini stocks would be a great show too, and I think they should do it. Totally agree. Oh my God! Here comes Kim. Speaking of hot dogs, she's about 3 hours late to the conversation, but this one's worth talking about. I can't even remember his last name, but there's this dude Ben. Oh, Ben Lookabill, and he would come to the races and listen. So they give us hot dogs in the media center. This is what she's talking about. She says, "Remember Ben that year shoving like 20 hot dogs in his pockets from the media center?" Yeah. Well, they would give us hot dogs in the media center, and we're done for the day. I don't know if it was practice or I don't know what day it was. It used to be a test day or 2 test days actually before the race, and now they've all condensed it down into 2 days. But I don't remember what day it was of that. But he's in there. This dude, I mean, he's literally just shoving in every pocket that he's got, taking hot dogs home with him. He's not even a member of the media or nothing. And Mike Smith was running the media side of things for Martinsville Speedway at the time, and he wanted to kill the guy. I mean, he said he was annoying anyways. It is what it is.
Hot dogs.
Doodle Lang says Lee is a bad dude, no doubt about that. Absolutely, one of the greatest late model stock car drivers ever, and who knows if he would have got opportunities to do something else. Terry Radford chiming in, he said Langley, who is running FCR next season? Well, we haven't got to that topic yet, so we'll get to that topic in a minute. We're still on Martinsville here, bud. All right. Anything else? Anything else from Martinsville that we haven't covered? We haven't talked about. I'm sitting here trying to think. I don't think there's anything else. But
yeah, I think
I will say, I said this in a post, when I shared the Lee Pulliam video on Facebook. But I think that the dude should definitely be in there. But I think this race was a lot better this year than it had been the last 4 years, I guess, because I think 2020 was not a race, and so 2019 was terrible. Josh Berry led like every lap of the race, and the last several have just not been very good races, not very good finishes. But this year, man, I think without the rain delays, it would have been a phenomenal race overall.
Still,
and it was good, anyways, for sure. All right. Yeah. Oh, let me grab this comment first. Wilt Maxey says, give Paul Radford a shout out. Happy birthday. Hey, I want to ask you a question though. Do you know who Paul Radford is?
No clue.
Jesus Christ, man. Oh my God, Wilton. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this guy.
I can't help it that I ain't old as hell like all of y'all.
I mean,
good
fair
God.
enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, I'll take it.
Y'all are trying. The biggest thing the sport needs right now is young people. Here I am, and y'all just doo all over me.
Listen, but as a young person in this sport, it is you should be doing your due diligence to know the greats of this sport. And Paul Radford is one of the, if not the greatest guy to ever come through this region of racing. Period. Modifieds, late models don't make any difference. Hell, Whitey tells a great story about him running an any car race one time. He's an absolute, as Wilton said here, he's a legend in racing, and he turned 94 years old yesterday, I believe. So cool guy. And
I mean, I did see that post where I don't know who it was that posted about it, but
well, you could have at least, it would have been great if you would have said, yeah, I know who that is. Yeah, I seen that he turned 94 yesterday. He's got a bunch of wins and he raced in modifieds, and you could have really just BS'd your way through that.
I'd have been lying.
No, that's okay.
I'm being honest here.
Kim's got the question of the night, though. She wants to know, Noah, do you know who Snatch Worley is, though?
I know Snatch Worley.
Oh, my God. I mean, good old Bo Miller giving us the whole Snatch Worley last race. I mean, last week. Last race. Oh, man. Wilton Maxey chiming in about Paul Radford. He said he won twice in the same day at Martinsville. I don't remember. I'm not young. I'm not old enough to remember that. But I do remember seeing that he had accomplished that. So,
well, the problem when you get to older stuff like that, I rely on you guys to inform me of who and what's going on. Get this guy out of here.
That's what he's trying to say. Robert Austin says, "Who the hell is this guy?" Oh my God, man!
But like I was saying, I rely on like people like you and Jumbo and Lauren for some stuff. Kenny I rely on y'all to inform me. Like that's all I know about. Like the Fair and Flash is just like what y'all have told me about this guy.
The only good thing about that group you just put me in.
What? That's your.
I think I'm the youngest of that group. Okay, that you just put me in.
Nice.
That's the only thing that I can take away from that is I think I'm the youngest in that group. So
I'm just saying, maybe Kenny. He does a good job with that page he runs. Maybe he should start a Franklin County history podcast or something, or just this region.
That would be epic. I mean, and he could. I mean, he could do Frank, and he could tell you more just out of his mind, than most people could research. So, that would be cool. That would be an epic podcast. Hell, we'll host it right here. I don't mind. You know what I mean? Let's do it. Get Kenny Lang on the horn. We want to make that happen.
Let's make it happen now.
Yeah. All right. Let's switch over to Ararat. Got championship night. The old Ararat Bull Ring this weekend. Hold on, I'll take this compliment. And yes, I think that was a compliment. I think Derek Radford said you might be the youngest, but you ain't the dumbest, though.
Yeah, hold on. Considering that whole group I just said, you ain't the dumbest. That's not a huge.
That's not a real high honor, okay? Even if I'm the smartest, that was not a real high honor there.
Yeah, that's not exactly not exactly a group of Phi Beta Kappas. All right,
no. All right. Switching over to Ararat. Okay. Championship weekend on tap this Saturday night. All 5 of our points divisions. I was about to say regular, but I was like, I can't use that word.
You want to?
No, I don't. It's spectacular. That's what it is. It's spectacular. No regulars. Well, Nathan Walker, he is a regular. He's been at every race. And he's got points. Racer. He's got the points locked up in our Buffalo Mountain Motorsports late model division. He's got a 25-point advantage over Dylan Watson, then Andrew Langford, Joey Washburn, Tanner Wilson, and Joey Johnson, all right there in a pretty good battle that any of them could finish, second through 6th right there. So got a good battle, just not for the championship. in our TC Construction Modifieds, Jake Barneycastle leads by just 5 points over Randy Poff. Randy was points leader a couple races back, missed a race. Jake took over the lead, and he's been holding it out since then. It's going to be really hard to for Randy Poff to win, given how Jake Barneycastle's ran. But you never know what'll happen. Your third and fourth are tied, 32 points behind, and then you got three-way tie for fifth. Cole Wagner, Preston Blaylock, and Robert Poole, all tied at 37. Travis Covey's still in the mix to possibly get a top 5 there. He's 8th in points. So a bunch of positions could change there for sure. Really, that and these Crown Vics are the only 2 really good battles for the championship. And the Crown Vics right now, Justin Pruitt leads, but he's got an 11-point advantage. So there's 20 points on the line this weekend. But there's 11 points in between Justin Pruitt and Brad Holt. Brad, obviously would love to win the championship, but he's going to have to hope for Justin Pruitt to have a bad night. Jamie Lockhart's in third. I mean, there's a good points battle behind them. So Jamie Lockhart, Madeline Stamper, Michael Whitlock, and Alan Ham are within 4 points for those 4 positions right there. So great battles back behind these guys. Not so many, up front there. Danny Henning, of course, he's won 5 races this year. He's leading the Pro 4 points. He's got a 14-point advantage, so he's going to have a catastrophic night not to come away with the championship. Tim Ingram, who was in a backup car the last race, he's in second, but 14 points back. Wayne Kendricks, 19 points back in third. Ben Crook, 26 points. And Luke Golding is 26 points behind there, too. And, of course, in the old Stock 4 division, former Franklin County Speedway Stock 4 Rookie of the Year and second-place runner-up guy to Chris Meeks in 2022, Austin Williams, he has locked up the championship in the Stock 4 division.
Yep, good for him. He's been trying to get one for a while now.
And I'm sure he's excited, to get that championship and to get it on dirt. He's run both, but he's much more of a dirt guy. He's, of course, he's got that in the bag. Jonathan Sullivan, though, he's under fire. I mean, there's 20 points between second and 7th place. So, I mean, there could be a lot of moving and shaking there in the Stock 4 division behind them. And, of course, this one is important because there's 3 provisionals for the 10,000 to win race. There's $750 in start money, if nothing else, on the line right here, for these guys, $250 a piece. Jonathan Sullivan second, TJ Smith third, Tanner Brumfield fourth, John Coe fifth, 6th is Kevin Litton, and 7th is Wesley Givens, who I believe will be at Shenandoah this weekend, so he won't be a factor. Leighton Chase, 1 point back of him in 8th. Nate Young had a new car the last race. Think he's gonna continue to do better, and he's in 9th, just 3 points back of Givens. Jamie Chrisley's in 10th there. Should be interesting with all of those guys. It's not as intense of a championship battle as we had last year at Franklin County. Of course, we had the playoffs, and that made a big difference. But, checking in the comments here, Jeff Barneycastle in here, he's talking about Jake Barneycastle. He said he hopes Jake gets better. He's been sick all week. So, playing a role. Sickness, could play a little role in the championship battle there for the TC Construction Modifieds.
Are you going to do like last year? You going to throw old caution, 5 to go? Let's spice it up a little bit?
No, that was part of the playoff system, and that's not part of this system. So
boring.
No, I'm going to tell you. Now, I'm going to tell you something, okay? So I love asphalt, and I love dirt, okay? But I'll tell you the biggest difference that I have taken away. Well, there's 2 major differences between dirt and asphalt racing. The number one difference on the track is that dirt needs no gimmicks to have exciting, good, thrilling, passing racing. They just don't. They don't need inverts. They don't need competition cautions. They don't need any of that stuff. I mean, yes, are there races that are runaway? Yeah, of course. But for the most part, they just don't need it. Whereas asphalt, you have got to kind of gimmick it up to really have good, intense racing throughout. some people like that. Some people don't like that on asphalt. They don't like to see that. But at the end of the day, from an entertainment standpoint, you've got to do it. Oh,
It made for
but
an exciting stock 4 finish.
yeah.
That's all I know.
Oh, it definitely made for an incredible. That may be the best points championship battle of all time.
Gary
And
he still ain't recovered from that one.
no, he hasn't. He has. Of course, he did get him a championship this year though in the Legends division at Franklin County. So that may made him feel a little bit better.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Still wish I could have got.
Some good battles though this weekend. Hopefully we'll have some good racing. I know there'll be a good car count there. Hopefully the fans will come out. It's going to be a little cool this weekend. Of course, we're still starting at 7:00 at night, but get you a hoodie. If you didn't bring one with you, come buy one at the merch shack. We got plenty of them over there, and enjoy some great racing. So,
or you drink you some beers. It's like nature's natural hoodie. It warms you right up.
I don't drink beer, so I wouldn't know. John Coe chimed in a minute ago. He's talking about the 10,000 to win Stock 4 World Championship presented by Oak Level Raceway that's coming up at the Ararat Bull Ring November 14th and 15th. He said, I hope I can make it in the main feature, at least for the biggest Stock 4 race. Well, you got an opportunity. I mean, you got an opportunity to make it, obviously, through all the avenues, of race weekend. But, there's also 3, provisionals there lingering. Depending on where you end up, in points, you could put yourself in a position to possibly be in one of those. So,
I have a feeling your top 3 guys are going to make the race. Honestly,
yeah, I mean, I hope so. I mean, obviously, I hope as many locals as possible make the show. As many guys as have supported us all year. I mean, obviously, not that it affects anything that we do, but I'd rather see a local win the show. I mean, obviously, if we're going to pay out a big purse and all these guys are going to come, I'd rather see a local take home the money than, somebody from South Carolina or Ohio or Tennessee or Kentucky, wherever, all these entries are from. So I'd much rather see the money stay local, but, them guys from South Carolina and North Carolina, down, toward Carolina Speedway and East Lincoln and all that. They're extremely tough competitors, and it's going to be hard to beat those guys. I mean, they showed in the 2,000 to win race on July 4th that they were going to be hard to beat, and well, I think they're going to be really hard to beat in this one, and there's some even heavier hitters signed up for this one. I mean, we're at 61 entries currently. We were going to cap it at 60, but we decided we're not going to have another division there, so we kind of opened it up to where we could have a few more entries, and I think we're got a stellar weekend. We're gonna, put the format out in hopefully a few days, and let everybody see it and kind of understand how you make the race. There's going to be a multitude of opportunities for somebody to make the race, but you're going to obviously have to be good or lucky, one or the other, to get in this race.
Yeah,
I know you're hoping one of the old Hinchee Motorsports cars makes it.
It's going to be fast. Now, we ain't got no idea what we're doing on dirt, but we'll try it.
Ain't no time like right now to learn. I would be getting in a start before that, though.
We're on an opportunity to put her on track.
Yeah, I would be getting on that. Oak Level Raceway, announced their first event this week. Well, sort of. Got the Trunk or Treat event, not exactly a racing event, but a good community event. Going to have cars, some race cars, some personal cars out on the racetrack, giving out candy and goodies to the kids. Had several people message about being a part of that already, and then Bo Miller, he went out and got Cameron Smith, got him coming in to do a little concert. So it should be a fun event on Halloween night from 5 to 8 p.m. at Oak Level Raceway.
Can we change gears and talk about how Trunk or Treat has single-handedly ruined Halloween?
Sure. Tell us how.
Nobody goes trick-or-treating no more. They all go to just these trunk or treats. It's half the fun was you get with your boys and you go to the rich neighborhood down the road. And but that don't even happen no more, man. Everybody just goes like from place to place, from church to church, doing all the trunk or treats. It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
Halloween ain't no fun no more.
I mean, I don't know if I can roll with you on that or not. I really ain't sure.
Why? Because it's easier on you.
Well, I mean, nobody comes to my house anyways because I'm 3/4 of a mile off of a road, so it doesn't make any difference whatsoever.
I mean, taking the ones you got, it makes it way easier for you. Where you can just pull up to and be like, "All right, go ahead."
They're mad at me right now. Okay, when I told them that we were doing this trunk or treat at Oak Level, they are not happy. They do not want to be there. Okay, they want to be out, hitting houses up here in Floyd because that's what they do every year. So yeah. Well,
Good
we live
God,
in
you got
Floyd County, bud.
miles on your car just to take the kids trick or treating.
Well, Jesus, I don't live near any. The only thing that lives near me is cows, bud.
Yeah, you got to drive 12 miles in between each house.
And they get in my yard and crap in it and everything else. So I mean, I don't want to deal with them cows. I want to. They gotta go to Floyd. So we got to go about 10 miles to, get that done. Speaking of, Timmy Meadows says it's fun at Hex Haunted Attraction. So
if you want to go to Hot Dog, not like whatever that mess was they put on camera on Saturday, come see me. Hex Haunted Attraction this weekend, baby. Every Friday, Saturday in October.
I mean, I heard you lost that deal because you played hooky, sitting at home with us.
Timmy, he ain't gonna take that away because he don't want to deal with it. That's the part he ain't telling you.
Yeah,
he ain't gonna say it out loud, but he don't want to deal with
it. Kimberly said, Kimberly, my wife, she said parents are lazy, don't want to walk their kids from house to house. I mean, that's true. That is true.
It's ridiculous. I mean, my mom used to just drop us off and just sit in the neighborhood somewhere and be like, "Go ahead."
Austin Willard says trunk or treats over some meth house who accidentally left the porch light on.
No, see, this is where you don't go to the meth houses. See, I used to live in Cave Springs, so we would go to there was two neighborhoods. It was Kings Chase and Branderwood. Yeah, those are the rich people neighborhoods. That's where you go. Yeah. It was fantastic, and you didn't have to worry about that.
Blake Melvin chiming in. He said, "Got to look out for creepy neighbors like Herbert off Family Guy while trick or treating these days."
Yeah, that is an issue, but
that's why just so you know,
out a gun.
Timmy said he would love to do it himself.
He ain't gonna do it himself.
I agree with you that he's not, but he did say that he would love to do so. Speaking of Oak Level Raceway, not trunk or treats at this point. Hopefully, month of November, gonna get a test and tune session in. Hopefully, the open practice for everybody. We're shooting for that at some point in November. Of course, we got a lot of racing at the Ararat Bull Ring in the meantime, so I don't know exactly what weekend that'll be, but that'll be good to get cars on track. I know they had a test there that had 3 cars on track, just kind of seeing where the track was at, with the work that they had been doing, and that went well. The track looked really good. I went there like a couple days later and drove around the track, and the track looked amazing. So it was really good to see that, everything's coming together there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun to go watch. I'll have to go to their opening night, too. I was at the Ararat's opening night.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I heard you were applying for announcer position. So
it depends what's going on, but we'll see.
Yeah. Speaking of what's going on, been hearing some rumors about the old Motor Mile Speedway.
What you heard?
We've talked about it before, and I told you, that the first time I heard about it, it was like 6 or 8 races or whatever. And well, now I'm hearing there might be 2 or 3. Today, I talked to a guy who should be in the know. Now I can't tell you whether he is or not, but he should be in the know, and he doesn't feel like he feels like there's gonna be, like a Smart Tour date and maybe a Cars Tour date, and there's gonna be some local divisions tied into that, and that's basically it.
Is it gonna be the same guy we were talking about before?
I don't know the answer to that. Okay, I can't get a straight answer to that. So
I guess we aren't allowed to say that.
No.
even though we could, break the case wide open.
Well, but breaking it open if you're wrong is just a waste of time. Okay, we're just talking rumors at the moment. Okay, that's all we're talking about. So
it's Whitey, everybody. It's Whitey Taylor.
I don't anticipate that. I
It's
don't think
it's going under yet another name change. It's going to be Trump International Speedway.
Trump International Speedway, and they're running 20 to 25 races, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every race is either going to be 45 or 47 laps, or 76 on the 4th of July.
76 on the 4th of July is a good idea, though. It's the 250th anniversary this upcoming year, so be a good time to break something.
Run the stock 417 laps and then 76 on a big division. See, I could be a promoter. Easy.
Fair enough. Blake Melvin asking about Ararat. He says, how many limiteds you think y'all will get at Ararat on the 25th? I have zero clue. I think we'll get 10 or 12. I think that but it's hard to say, man. All these racers are their own animal when it comes to whether they decide how and when they decide to go to a racetrack, and well, who knows what'll happen. Wilton Maxey chiming in. He wants to know, will Ararat start Super Street? I don't anticipate that'll happen this year, but I imagine that the longer that a division goes and the bigger that it gets at Oak level, that Ararat will adopt that at some point or another, at least for some races. And you never know, we may see some races next year. Circling back to the Motor Mile thing, Doodle Lang says, big problem at Motor Mile is also getting officials, since most of them are with the car store now. Well, that's true. But if they do what they're intended to do now, I guess they won't have that problem.
It's going to be
one because it'll be just a couple opportunities and on the same nights, and so we'll see what happens there. All right, listen, give me your latest Franklin County rumor.
I don't have nothing.
Come on, man. You don't have nothing?
I ain't got nothing. I've only talked to Timmy twice in like the last 2 weeks, and both times I'm counting them was just a second ago in the chat, and then on Saturday in the chat. That's all I've talked to Timmy about. So don't ask me. I don't know nothing.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you some information about Franklin County that is not rumor, and that is there will be a couple of races before this year ends, and I will be the one putting those races on. So those will come up. I'm not 100% sure on dates yet, but we will have that out in the next couple of days.
I thought you said you didn't know nothing about that.
I don't know nothing about nothing. So listen, until it's time to say something, I know nothing. Okay.
Yeah, we can tell. I mean, we've got some great juicy stuff to unlock with Motor Mile, and you won't let us say it.
But it's not official. It's hard to throw people's names out there when it's not official.
We're getting the scoop.
So, I anticipate that one of the races we'll run will be toward the end of October or in the beginning of November. I was going to shoot for November the 1st, but that's Martinsville weekend, and I'm not trying to play around on that weekend. Plus, Ace has a big race that weekend. And then I don't know. The schedule gets funky this time of year. It's very hard to do. Kicking around maybe Sunday, October the 26th, and then November 22nd for the 2 dates that we'll get in before this year ends. Just see what we can get done. November 22nd, the goal is to do a dirt invasion race. Basically get some dirt, divisions, late models, modifieds, maybe the natural bridge street stocks and pure stocks. Get those guys in, see how, not officially one of their races, but their rules. I don't know about the mini stock part, the Pro 4. I'm not sure how that would work, but I know it would with some of the Carolina cars, but I don't know about the guys up here. So yeah, roll the dice, see what happens. Hopefully we can put on a good show, and get a couple more races there at the track before the year's over with.
It'd be cool to see it. I've been wanting to see the dirt cars on asphalt in person. So
Yeah. Oh, I think there's a lot of people that would like to see that, and I think it's a good crossover and a good time to do that crossover. Um, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Got it. We've got some work to do to get those guys interested in running that. Because for whatever reason, in the last, it used to be the dirt guys didn't mind going to asphalt every now and then. I mean, the guys at Natural Bridge. I mean, there was a lot of them when Whitey ran Natural Bridge in Franklin County. There was a lot of crossover. Dudley Lawhorn, is one of those guys who ended up crossing over and staying on asphalt. I don't anticipate there's a whole lot of guys on dirt at this point that would, but like today's racer, the asphalt guys are more likely to go run a dirt race, which we've seen this year at Natural Bridge and Ararat. And I think that. I think that the dirt racer is a lot more apprehensive to do anything on asphalt today than they used to be.
I don't know. It's like they feel like it's a sin or something. They can't do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I get it. They say asphalt's for getting there and dirt's for racing. So,
There's a reason why NASCAR, the biggest stock car thing, is on asphalt. I'm just saying.
I knew you were going that direction. John Coe in the comments here, he said, "So what's the plans for 2026 at FCR?" I have no idea. My opportunity lies solely in these two events at this moment. I don't know what that looks like. I have no idea. So I can't speak to that. So last I heard, Noah was going to be the promoter for 2026. So
if y'all can find me some money, get me some sponsors, I would 1,000% love to promote that.
Listen, I'll pledge the first $5 tonight. Okay.
There you go. We're gonna start a GoFundMe.
Yeah, there you go.
I need like 50 grand probably.
Yeah.
So if anybody's y'all got like a spare 50 just laying around.
Yeah.
What'd you do to Bo? What services did you have to give him to start shelling out some money?
Oh my
I'll
God.
start calling him up. Hey, Bo.
Call him up. Get on your knees. That's all I can tell you. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's what you've been doing.
Oh, Lord. Doodle Lang replied to John Coe about 2026, and he said, we'll find out in February or March of 2026. I anticipate that they will not wait that long this year, whatever happens, because I think they, as a whole, Whitey included, everything. I think that they felt like they made a mistake waiting so long this past year. And with Oak Level opening, I feel like that would be a mistake as well. I don't know. I just I don't know. You never know. You never know what'll happen. You might be dead on there.
I would just start posting and making rules and everything, schedules like I'm the one promoting it.
Yeah.
And then hopefully it'll gain so much traction that eventually they're just going to have to give it to me because they don't even. They're like, well,
yeah.
Now everybody's committed, so sure, I guess go ahead.
Yeah. Stephen Troll, he's in the comments here. Of course, they are coming off of big win there at Franklin County a couple of weeks ago. He said, BGS Pro Mods, 50, 75 laps, 4 tires, worked good at Ace. I am 100% down for that. I really like that. I think that's a good way to do things. And I think I think that would be a good side gig during the season. Friday nights, maybe. We'll see though. Adam Lawrence in the comments, he said Langley Austin going to be busy with Oak Level and Ararat next year. I'm definitely going to be busy, so I'm definitely a lot busier than I'd like to be at the moment. So got a lot
right now. That's not including whatever 6-4 tracks Bo's going to buy in the next month.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that don't happen. So I might have lost Noah there. I'm not really sure what he's got going on over there. Kimberly Austin chiming in. I don't know what's wrong with her. She said Langley's been looking at Bo's nipples. So, Doodle Lang said fingers crossed. Yeah. Let's see. Austin Willard. We have all we all have watching them lives. Yeah, yeah. He's never got any clothes on, so I mean, you see a lot of Bo there in those. But I mean, listen, just make sure that he doesn't do a live from the Porta John at Oak Level, okay? Because I have got a FaceTime from the Porta John at Oak Level. All right, and that is scary times.
That just shows you what he's thinking about you.
I mean, that's a crappy way to do things right there. That's all I can
He's
tell you.
like, oh, you know who this reminds me of? Let me call him real quick.
Yeah, literally, he calls me and I open it up and he's I can't hardly see him, and he said, where I am, and I can hear the echo. I know exactly where he's at that point. There was no question. The acoustics in there was amazing. All right.
You hear the drop. Bloop.
Yeah, he got some blue stains for sure. Um, John Coe jumping in, he said, just love to see Franklin County stay alive. Love the track. I started there and just all the members. Yes, listen, everybody wants to see the place stay up. There's not a single soul with any common sense that doesn't want to see uh, Franklin County, you know, stay open. It's not. I mean, there's not a single soul out there that doesn't want to see that. Me included. I mean, I've spent the better part of the last decade, running races there because of that. You know what I mean? And I think Timmy's probably in the comments here still, and I mean he can attest to the fact that there is no money to be made. I mean, there's just no money to be made. So you have to do it for the love of it. So,
well, I can tell you, if I get it, what my first order of business is going to be is that Doodle and Wes are both getting fines for wrecking children this past
yeah,
year. I feel like that wasn't enforced enough, so we're going to go ahead and fine them.
yeah,
Maybe a 1 week suspension from opening night. Who knows?
yeah. Josh Brown chiming in. So no matter what happens at Franklin County, it's going to be another uphill climb for whoever runs it. It's always an uphill climb there. I mean, listen, when I started there in 2013, it's like, man, if you can make it 3 years, it'll be amazing. Of course, I didn't, those times, but came back in 2020, had an amazing season, and then 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024 was all a struggle. You know what I mean? It's always going to be a struggle there, because there is a reputation that no matter what you do there, you cannot erase. So just it ain't possible to do so. So Kenny Lang, he says FCR LLC laid a good foundation in 2025. It'll be a sad state of affairs if they're not provided an opportunity to build on that momentum in 2026. Unfortunately, we all know how this story's played out in the past. I mean, I think there's a lot of factors that go into this. I mean, if it was as easy as just flipping a switch and hoping that things go exactly right on all sides, you know what I mean? Whether that's on Whitey's side or Timmy's side or my side or anybody else's side. If it was all that easy, well, none of us would be doing it because somebody else would have already had it under control, and it would have been successful, and everybody'd be making money, and we'd all be talking about how great it is. But that's not the world we live in, and that's not gonna it just doesn't happen. But I don't know what's gonna happen. If Timmy's back there next year, I think it'll be great. You know, if I've got to be there running races, it is what it is. I just want to see the place open. If Noah's the one running the races there, I'm glad for him. If Kenny Lang, digs that money out of his backyard and goes over there and pays to run it, I'm excited for him. You know what I mean? I think that the place needs to live on and be as successful as possible. And I think Timmy and them did a great job this year. I know that having the haunt kind of precludes them from participating at this time of year, and I think that makes things a little more difficult when you're trying to put on races there, because Bowman Gray takes up that summer window so hard for this region. I mean, so many race fans, just they go off down there and they don't come to anything local. And if Motor Mile's open for any amount of races, that pulls, a certain amount of people in the other direction. I don't. It's very difficult. That is a very difficult and an uphill battle, no matter what, no matter what's going on there.
Unfortunately, as much as I hate to admit it, every year just seems like asphalt as a whole, not just Franklin, not just Motor Mile. It just seems as a whole, it continues to downtrend, and it seems like dirt continues to uptrend every year. I guess everybody's wanting to switch over because they see the success that dirt has, and I mean, even the worst, dirt track is in a lot better shape than a lot of asphalt places are. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
I
there's
just
some
hate
truth
to
to that.
see asphalt declining like it is.
Well, and I've said this for years, and I've been in a position to try and do this, but never been successful at doing this. Asphalt needs a reset. These cars that they're running today, as big cars, limiteds, late models, whatever you want, they're very expensive, and the tires are very expensive, and they're only getting worse. Um, so I think it makes it very difficult for anybody to have success. I mean, look at South Boston. I mean, we can talk about levels of success. South Boston should be the most successful racetrack, and it's not far from being the most successful asphalt track outside of Bowman Gray. But I mean, they had nights where they had 9, 10, 11 cars in their late model division where they're paying out all this money. Um, Something's got to change. There has to be a shift by the racetracks at some point or another to fix the problems that exist, to fix the things that keep people from going to the track. I mean, I can tell you one thing that I learned this year is Stock 4 as an example. Those guys spent way less money to run dirt than they did asphalt, simply based on the tires. And that's a DOT. That's a $42 DOT tire.
Yeah,
But it still saved them a tremendous amount of money. And I don't know if there's any way around that.
I
I
don't
mean,
think DOT tires, man.
I mean, I know you'll tell me that extended lower control arms and all the camber in the world would help.
It
I know.
does. Just saying.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
hardly
Well,
ever had to swap a right front when I had that. You go straight up to the rules now, which does provide more competitive racing and closer.
yeah,
But unfortunately, you destroy that right front every race.
yeah. For sure. I don't know. I don't know if there's. I don't know what all the answers are for asphalt racing, but I can tell you this: there's just two things that that I would I immediately think you have to try to fix, and that's a big car division has to be. It has to be, and I'm not. When I say this, I'm not, because I've done this. I did the exact same thing 2 or 3 years ago. I'm not throwing Timmy under the bus in any way, shape, or form for this decision, but so the South Boston rules, it precluded some of the locals. You can't preclude the guys who you need to race. Um, and it's a great idea in theory to try to go back and forth. I actually did that a few years ago myself, and it didn't work. I was doing it to try to get stock 4 cars, and that didn't work. But it makes it makes it very difficult. When you preclude some of the local guys. Of course, I know the rules kind of got a little more open as the year went along, and they started to figure things out. But it's very difficult. It's so hard to know, what do you do? What is the right answer? Nobody has that right answer. You know what I mean? But when you preclude the locals, and the problem is there's some locals that have the wrong things. You know what I mean? They have the wrong things that you need them to have in order for the racing to be good and for the car count to grow. Um, I don't know. There's no there is no easy there are no easy answers there. I tell you what, I really love, so Oak Level, we put out the rules last week on the late model division. I guess technically it's a limited late model division, although there's nothing limited about this rules. They're very open, and you even commented on there about if you can save money, and if you have it and you can use it and save money with it, do it. I mean,
Run it. It's fine.
But here I think lies the problem on asphalt. The problem on asphalt is you have that with the Super Street division, and I tried to run them. Timmy tried to run them. Timmy paid them a good purse. Hell, I paid them 1,000 to win several times. You ain't get nobody. They just don't come there.
I
And
don't.
nobody wants to run on those tires. And without those tires, I don't know that it works.
I really don't understand it, because if you looked at it on paper and you didn't know anything about it, you would say, "Well, this has got to be the most successful division," because
It should be.
you can bring whatever you got and you're in. There's like 3 rules and you're in, and it's. I mean, honestly, no offense to those guys, we appreciate the ones that showed up. Obviously, that was the worst division we had all year. Had 3 cars, 4 cars showing up.
Yeah.
When it really should be the biggest division, but it's just not. I don't know.
Yeah, I totally agree. Um, I don't know. I just I don't know. I don't have an answer for that, and I'm searching for one. You know what I mean? Before I say what I'm running, on the first race, I'm trying to search for one right now. I'm trying to search for an answer, um, to make this easy. I mean, having them, we spent so I spent the last 2 years on a deal where they had 5 30 seconds tread depth rule, open, bring your whatever tires, bring your tires and run them, and as long as they meet that specification, you were good. This year they had them on new tires. Neither one of them worked great. I mean, we can, I can go, well, I think this worked better because I had this car count, or I can say, well, Timmy's worked better because, this one race. They didn't work. Neither one of them worked. It doesn't. And I'm gonna tell you, one of the most difficult things about Franklin County is it's never going to be South Boston. It's never going to be Motor Mall, and you have to treat it as the track that it is. And yes, it's going to be a little more redneck. And yes, things are going to happen there from time to time that, Sally and Karen's going to get on Facebook and say, "Oh, that's horrible." But at the end of the day, it is what it is, and you have to promote it as such. And I know that Timmy enjoys those those types of races, and the fun and the nights of destruction. I know you helped him a lot with the night of destruction, and but it's sad. It's a sad state of affairs for asphalt when night of destruction is the only race you can really make any money off of. You have a few one-offs. That I'm sure that limited race they probably turned a profit on, and I'm sure the smart modified race they turned a profit on. But all those races in between, those are the ones that you need so desperately to at least break even on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we just don't live in a world where that happens. And then we can say, well, man, if we just do it this way next year, you know what I mean? Well, I got bad news for anybody who believes that. I've tried it. I've been there. I've done that. I did everything. Mike Looney told me one time. This is, story I tell people all the time when it comes to Franklin County and how things work. He told me one time, he said, man, we were running 8-inch American Racer AR 790s, I think is what they were, in or 970s, sorry. And we were running them in our late model division, and we were having success with it. But he said, man, nobody wants to really want to come run these tires. I think if you paid like South Boston does, they pay $2,000 to win, $500 to start. Man, I think we'll have a bunch of cars. So I picked a date 4 or 5 weeks later. It was Labor Day weekend. Ran exactly that, paid $2,000 to win, $500 to start. New Hoosier for F45s. Same amount of cars. I had 7 cars that night, I believe. 7, 6, 7, whatever it was. And I'd been getting an average of about 7 all year long, doing it the way that I was doing it, paying $700 to win, I believe. Everybody's got an answer until it's their dollar. That's what I'm gonna say. And kudos to Timmy. He did an amazing job there this year, overcoming a lot of things. And you have to overcome a lot there. And that's one of the things that I've enjoyed about Ararat. And is, yes, I've had to overcome some things there, but man, the culture of dirt racers just want to race. And there's a bigger pool. You're pulling from a bigger pool. There's probably 100 late models within a few hours that are willing to come race with you, and you just got to hope you get 13 to 15 of them. On asphalt, you got about 20 or 21 of them. You know what I mean? and you're just hoping you can get double digits. Man, if I can get to 10. Or I guess you get double digits all the time if you're Michael Diaz. Michael Diaz told me that 07 is double digits. Okay, that's one thing that he did teach me. But I don't know. It's very difficult, but it's a lot of. I don't think that I think yeah, I don't know if Timmy would say he had fun this year. I don't know whether he would or not, but I have fun doing it even when it's not great. You know. Ruben Altus chiming in. He says it sucks, but it all comes down to sponsorship. Look how many fans were at the late model race trying to beat Kyle Dudley for the bounty. Yeah, I mean, and that was a good car count. But there's usually almost every year at Franklin County, there's one race of the year that has 10, 11, 12 cars. You know what I mean? But it's the rest of the season that is the challenge. You don't get those. You don't get those guys on a regular basis, and I mean, there's nobody. I think there was like what $10,000 in sponsorship money or something for that race, and there's a lot of purse money paid out there, and you can't do that on a regular basis. You can't sell laps every race. That's a great gimmick. I love it. We've done it. Kenny's helped me. It doesn't work every race. One-offs it'll work. I don't know. But with that said, I'm hoping we can have a great race. I'm going to try to put together the best rule package that I can put together for what cars are out there available, and try to put something together and make it work, and see what happens. And, Timmy, I talked to Timmy last night for an extended period of time, and, he said he was, all on board helping, with whatever. I know he's busy with the haunt, so, he can only do what he can do. But really appreciate it and the opportunity, and we'll see what happens and see how it turns out, and hopefully we can make it work and get a couple of good races in, and maybe there's something from that can be taken toward next year, with whether that's you or me or Timmy or Kenny or whoever. Lauren Yoder, maybe Lauren's going to spend his money to promote next year. I'm not sure.
Maybe you will. I think it's there's something you can do. There's stuff you can do, but that's the big issue. Is it's going to cost a lot of money up front, and you're essentially gambling.
Oh, you are, but you're never going to get it back. That's one thing I learned in this business. Anything you want to do, it's all great. Any dollar you spend, you're never getting it back. It's never coming back to you. There is never a step where it comes back. Motor Mile is a great example of that. Motor Mile had 30 plus late models on a regular basis. But they were paying out their butt, losing money hand over fist, letting everybody into the grandstands for free, taking it as a tax write-off. And as soon as they said, we're going to have to draw back in on this a little bit, there went all the cars. They never got a payoff on it. You know what I mean? And there's never going to be a payoff on it. And you can never expect one. That's what makes this business so difficult, is you can never expect it to work out in your favor that way.
Yeah.
But can you have some great fun events and enjoy racing? Absolutely. So, and that's what we intend to do with the two events that we're going to do, and we'll see where it goes from there. All right, went over by almost 20 minutes here. Anything we missed? Anything we haven't talked about?
Nothing really. Come to Hex. Come see me this weekend.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, Hex Haunted Attraction opens up this weekend. So if you're in the market for a haunted attraction, haunted house this weekend, be sure to check them out. And of course, there's others around the region depending on where you are. But I loved Hex when I went there. So
yeah, and I worked out a deal with Timmy. If you mention me at the gate, tell them I sent you. They'll add $5 to your ticket price. So come on down, tell them I sent you. It'll be.
I knew when you started saying that there was no discount there.
No, there's no discount whatsoever.
I mean, it probably should charge you $5. It charge them $5 for knowing you. I mean, that really should be.
And we do, and I appreciate everybody for coming down though, because we do get a lot of racetrack people that do come down there.
Yeah,
I'd like to see more. Y'all come down.
Yeah,
it's fun. It's good old time.
I think we're off the weekend of the 17th and 18th, so maybe we'll come out there. I'll bring bring the kids. Junior, I mean, y'all probably scare him, to death. I mean, he's scared of his own shadow anyway. So
if he don't want to go, he can hang out with us and cook hot dogs till y'all are done.
oh my God, he'll be in there making dusty dogs. Okay,
No,
it runs in the family. All right.
he's staying far away from the hot dogs. Actually, I changed my mind. He can be on drink too. He can retrieve the drinks for me.
Right. I hear you. All right, all good. Let's get out of here. This has been episode 79 of the Pit Chatter Podcast. We'll be back next Tuesday with